Hey everyone, welcome back to the Salary Cap 101 series. I'm Texans Cap, and today we're going to talk about veteran salary benefit contracts. It is an often confused topic, but it's heavily used across the league. So we're going to jump over to the slideshow and take a look at it. Okay, so we're over in the slideshow portion now. So we're going to take a look at some of the factors that are involved with veteran salary benefit contracts. Uh, Essentially, a team would receive a discount on their salary cap. The cash is still the same, but they receive a discount towards their salary cap for signing players that meet this criteria. So there's certain limitations to it. We're going to go through those different aspects of it. It's limited to a 1 year contract. Okay, you can't sign a multi-year contract and take advantage of this benefit. The player must meet the minimum service time of 4 credited seasons to qualify for this benefit. This a player can be an unrestricted free agent, can be a street free agent that was released from another team, and we'll get into the details of that. Uh, like I was talking about in the beginning, is designed to incentivize teams to sign veteran players to contracts versus signing younger players that have a lower minimum salary. To get into the real weeds of it, if you want, you can reference the CBA, jump into Article 27. It's got a full breakdown of the salary benefits associated with this specific topic. So, the limitations, right? Like we talk about, there are limitations. There's a very specific set of criteria or limitations associated with this type of contract. Like we talk about, it's a 1 year contract, limited to just that, and there are limitations to the amount of money associated with this contract. So the main initial limitation is what is called additional compensation. So that number for the 2025 league year is limited to $167,500. That number increases in subsequent years, like I talked about. Reference Article 27 in the CBA, and you can take a look at those amounts in case you're watching this video in the future. The guarantee limitation is limited to uh, the amount aligning with a player with 2 credited seasons. So for the 2025 league year, that amount is 1.03 million. So you're signing a player to a veteran salary benefit contract. You have two key limitations up front. It's the additional compensation, 167,500, and guaranteed salary limited at 1.03 million. Now, what is limited in the additional compensation? 167,500. There's different categories that this can be spread across. It can be in just a one category, it can be in multiple. It can be in signing bonus, it can be in roster bonuses versus whether it be a lump sum or per game roster bonuses, and it can be associated with a workout bonus. So the amount can only be totaled of 167,500 across all the categories. Majority of the teams will just do a signing bonus as the 167,500, but I have seen contracts with teams that they may do 67,500 and a signing bonus and 100,000 spread out over per game roster bonuses, or they may do 67,500 signing bonus, a $50,000 first game active roster bonus, and a $50,000 workout bonus, right? So just the numbers across those three categories cannot exceed 167,500. That's a fun number to say over and over. And remember, that number is associated with the 2025 league year. So now we're going to talk about some additional limitations, right? So players who have earned additional compensation with a team are not eligible for this benefit. And we're going to kind of get into what that means. So let's say a player in March signs a contract with the team, with a team, any other team, right? And has a $1.5 million guaranteed salary, guaranteed for skill cap and injury. And that player is subsequently released in May. And Team B wants to sign that player to a 1 year contract and try to get the benefit associated with that attached to their salary cap. That would not be an eligible player to sign to meet that benefit. The team can still sign him. I don't want to confuse that. They just would not receive that benefit. Unfortunately, Team B is limited to not getting the benefit because Team A had a contract on the player that exceeded the additional compensation and the guarantee limitations. Another limitation to it is it's like we talked about, it's a 1 year contract, but the team cannot extend the player mid-season. They have to wait until the Monday after the regular season has been completed before they can execute a new contract, an extension. Now, my Houston Texans learned this the hard way. Back in 2019, they had signed Brian Anger, punter, to a veteran salary benefit contract. He had a fantastic season and they wanted to extend him to a multiple year contract. However, they attempted to do this in December, approximately 2 weeks before the end of the season, and the league office sent that contract back to him, said, "This is not allowed. You're going to have to wait." The team eventually waited, re-signed Anger in January, and real no major changes as is all said and done. So now we're going to take a look at a contract and how the numbers work out. So I pulled up Irv Smith, pulling from overthecap.com. Irv Smith, who signed with the Houston Texans, and you see the breakdown here on the screen, right? He's got a salary that aligns with a player with 4 to 6 years of credited seasons. So it's 1.17 million. If you need a refresher on the accredited and accrued seasons, go back an episode, go check that out. He's got a $15,000 signing bonus and a $45,000 bonus paid out per game that would equal a total of 45,000. Now you see the cap number is much lower, 1.058 million. That's the benefit that the team gets. So you had a $15,000 signing bonus. That would fall under the additional compensation. A 45,000 roster bonus paid per game. So the $2,647 per game active. That also falls under the additional compensation. So this player has a cap charge that's broken out as you see here. It's not based on the 1.17 million base salary. It's based on a salary amount of a player with 2 years of credited service. So there's the benefit. This team, the Texans, are going to would have end up paying Irv Smith 1.23 million over the course of the season had he played been active all 17 games. But their salary cap charge would have been $140,000 lower. So that's the benefit. That's what teams receive when they sign players that qualify for the veteran salary benefit. There is a second type of benefit contract. It is called a 4 year qualifying contract. So, to be eligible for this, the player has to have been on the same team for 4 years concurrently. Not 3 years, missed a week and came back. They have to be on the 90-man roster for 4 years straight. The limitation for teams is to be able to use this benefit on 2 players per league year. So it's a little bit different structure. The additional compensation in terms of bonus money is still capped at the same number, $167,500, as the veteran salary benefit. However, the P5, the base salary, can be increased In this case, for the 2025 league year, by 1.45 million. Now, this is all broken down in the CBA. That amount changes and increases as we get further into the future. But for the 2025 league year, the base salary can be paid out $1.45 million more than the minimum amount for that player for the amount of credit seasons. And we'll take a look at an example. Same like we'll talk about, same additional compensation rules apply. So we're going to take a look at Patrick Ricard, who signed with the Baltimore Ravens this offseason. He received 160,500 signing bonus. Like we talked about, that's the limitation on the additional compensation. However, his P5 salary, base salary, is 2.705 million. Now, Ricard has 7+ years of credited service, so if you were to sign him to a vet minimum contract, it would be $1.255 million. So you add the 1.45, and that's where you get to the 2.705. So the cap charge for this player, you take out the 1.45 benefit, add in the signing bonus, and that's where you get your cap number. So the Ravens are going to pay Ricard $2.8 million. However, they're going to see a benefit of $1.45 million on their salary cap. So that's a big number for a player with such a low salary cap number. And it's a strong benefit for teams that if they keep a player on their roster for 4 years, they can re-sign them under these certain limitations and get a strong benefit from it. So that is the topic of veteran salary benefit contracts. Like we talked about, there's two types: the veteran salary benefit and the 4-year player contract benefit. Majority of the teams will use the veteran salary benefit when they have the advantage to do so. Remember, there are limitations, the additional compensation categories, limitations on the player guarantees. Same thing with the 4-year player guarantee, 4-year qualifying benefit contract. There are limitations to that as well. So make sure you check out Article 27 of the CBA for the finer details of it. And if you need help or you have a question on this, send me an email, troy@overthecap.com. I'll be happy to help you out as well. So that is benefit contracts. And this has been episode 16, the Salary Cap 101 series. See you in the next episode.